I never thought I'd torch my own career to watch it burn someone else's empire down. But when Jake handed me that pink slip with a smirk, whispering, "You're done here, Anna, pack your shit and ghost," I grabbed the lighter fluid instead of my box. By dawn, the servers were frying like bacon in a grease fire, and the headline screamed, "Tech darling implodes, insider sabotage or corporate karma?" That night, as the cops dragged me out in cuffs, I locked eyes with the founder, my old mentor, the man who'd sworn I'd be his legacy, and he mouthed the words that tasted like vindication. "Please, come back." It started 6 months earlier, in the fluorescent hell of Innovateca's R&D lab in Silicon Valley's fever dream sprawl, Palo Alto, where dreams get coded in Python and nightmares come with NDAs. I was Anna Reyes, 28, the wunderkind who dropped out of Stanford to bootstrap an algorithm that could predict market crashes before the suits even smelled the smoke. My baby, EchoPredict, a neural net that didn't just crunch data, it whispered secrets Wall Street buried under NDAs thicker than my abuela's tamales. I'd poured 3 years into it, nights blurring into code sprints fueled by Red Bull and regret. All for Jake Harlan, my manager, the golden boy of Innovatec, 42, with a jawline that could cut glass and ethics as flexible as a yoga instructor on payroll. Jake wasn't just my boss, he was the guy who'd discovered me at a hackathon, poached me with promises of equity and that mythical Silicon Valley gospel: move fast and break things. Break things? Hell, I'd built the unbreakable. EchoPredict wasn't some app, it was a goddamn oracle, licensed already to hedge funds for 7 figures. But Jake?
He saw dollar signs.
Not destiny. "Anna."
"Kid," he'd say,
clapping my shoulder too hard. "This is our ticket. You and me against the world. Our ticket." As if the sweat equity was split 50-50. The betrayal hit like a server crash at peak load. It was a Tuesday, rain-slick streets outside the glass cube that passed for our office. I was debugging a false positive when HR buzzed me into Jake's corner suite. He lounged behind his Eames knockoff, feet up, scrolling TikTok like he owned the apocalypse. "Sit," he said, not looking up. I sat. Then he slid the folder across. Termination papers. Effective immediately. Creative differences, it read. Bullshit. I'd overheard him the week before, schmoozing the founder, Victor Lang, 60-something visionary with a beard like ZZ Top and a conscience outsourced to lawyers, about streamlining the team. But this was surgical. "You're firing me? After EchoPredict just closed that Goldman deal." My voice cracked, but I held the line. Jake finally met my eyes, that smirk curling like smoke. "The patent's filed under Innovatec. Anna, you signed the agreement. It's ours now."
"Ours."
The word slithered. I'd signed. Yeah, standard boilerplate when you're 25 and starving. But the secret? The one that gnawed at me like bad code? EchoPredict wasn't just mine. It was born from fire. 2 years back, before Jake's halo, I'd been Victor's protege. Fresh out of the dorms, interning under him, the godfather of AI ethics who'd TED talked about humanity first while cashing checks from DARPA. Victor mentored me. Late nights in the lab, his voice gravelly with scotch. "Anna, tech's a loaded gun. Point it right." Then came the glitch, the one that almost ended us both. During a beta test, EchoPredict flagged an anomaly in a client's portfolio, insider trading, buried deep in offshore shells. Victor's shells. Turns out, the founder had been dipping into slush funds, laundering R&D grants through dummy core to fund his divorce. A felony clusterfuck that could have tanked Innovatech overnight. I found it first. The algorithm spat it out like digital vomit. Timestamps linking wire transfers to Victor's ex's Cayman accounts. He cornered me in the server room. Eyes wild. Bury it.
Anna.
For the company. For me. I did. Rewrote the code. Scrubbed the logs. Took the hit when auditors sniffed around. Blamed it on a training error I'd overseen. Victor promised, "You'll own this place someday." Instead, he promoted Jake, his drinking buddy from the early days, and let me grind in the shadows. The secret festered, a black hole in my gut. I'd borne his crime, and now they were erasing me. Creative differences? I laughed, bitter as burnt coffee. You mean you and Victor rewrote my baby? Slapped your names on the patent app last week. I saw the filing. Jake's smirk faltered. Just a pixel. Paranoid much? Get over it. Clean out your desk. He buzzed security. As they escorted me out, past cubicles buzzing with oblivious code monkeys, I felt the fracture line snap. Not rage, yet.
Clarity.
The kind that comes when you realize the game's rigged, and you've been playing with marked cards. That night, in my cramped studio in Mountain View, poster of Frida Kahlo peeling off the wall, takeout boxes my only roommates, I didn't cry. I plotted. Revenge isn't a sprint, it's a DDoS attack. Slow and unrelenting. First, the data dump. I'd backed up EchoPredict's core, off books, on an air-gapped drive hidden in my sock drawer. Not theft. Technically, I'd built it on my own rig before the company laptop. But the logs, the scrubbed ones, those were gold. I cracked open my terminal. Fingers flying, git clone, encrypt, exfil. By 2 a.m., I had mirrors on 3 anonymous servers. Tore out into hell and back. Morning brought the hangover of reality. My phone blew up. Voicemails from ex-coworkers. Pity-laced texts. Then Victor. Anna.
Call me.
We need to talk. I let it ring. Sipping black coffee strong enough to strip paint.
Talk?
Like the night he'd begged me to bury his dirt?
No.
This was war. American style. Lawsuits. Leaks. The court of public opinion where truth is whatever trends hardest. I lawyered up pro bono from a ACLU shark who'd sued big tech before breakfast. Defamation. IP theft. Wrongful termination. She purred over Zoom. Her Brooklyn accent like nails on chalkboard. We bleed, But Jake? He was the serpent, mouthing Victor's lines while sharpening the knife for his own back. I knew his type. Ladder climber with a god complex. Flipping alliances like pancakes. Whispers in the valley said he'd ghosted 2 startups before, vanishing with the seed round. Innovatech was his Everest, and I was the Sherpa he planned to cut loose mid-climb.
Fine.
I'd rig the ropes. Week 1. The subtle sabotage. I fed anonymous tips to TechCrunch, vague enough to sting. Innovatech Algo? Built on borrowed code. Shares dipped 3%. Jake's LinkedIn lit up with concerned trolls. Week 2. I hit the patent office, filing an amendment claim. Original inventor, Anna Reyes. Corporate assignment invalid due to duress. Duress? The NDA I'd signed under Victor's thumb. Post-glitch cover-up. My lawyer spun it gold. Coercion. Implied threats to my career if I didn't play ball. Victor called again. This time from a burner, sloppy. Anna. Sweetheart. Let's negotiate.
Equity.
A roll. Sweetheart. The word curdled. Tell Jake hi, I said, and hung up. That night, I dreamed of the server room. Victor's face in the glow of blinking LEDs. His whisper, "Bury it," woke sweating. The drive's hum my only companion. By month 2, the leaks escalated. I dropped the glitch story to a wired stringer, redacted. Of course. Insider alleges founder hid financial irregularities via AI manipulation. No names, but the dots connected like a neural net. Innovateca's stock cratered 15%. SEC filings due. Jake went radio silent, but I caught wind. He'd pinned it on a junior dev. Some kid from Bangalore on H1B. Scapegoat du jour. Classic. Flip the blame. Watch it stick to the immigrant. Controversial? Hell yes, Valley outrage machine churned. Tech racism trending. Protests outside the HQ with signs like Code Fair. Not foul. I watched from a dive bar in San Jose, nursing a IPA that tasted like ashes. Part of me, the old Anna, the one who'd idolized Victor, winced. Was I destroying innocence? The kid got fired. Yeah. But Jake? He was thrashed in depositions, his smug mask cracking under fluorescent lights. MS. Reyes was unstable, he testified, voice steady as a glitchy API. Unstable. For covering his mentor's ass. The climax brewed in a marathon all night. Caffeine veins pulsing. Echo predict. My ghost in the machine, I'd forked it. Open-sourced a community edition on GitHub under a pseudonym. Not the full oracle. Just enough to let hackers poke vulnerabilities I'd planted like landmines. By dawn, exploits bloomed. DDoS from script kiddies. Data exfils hitting dark web forums. Innovateca's cloud buckled. Client portals down for 48 hours. Billions in trades frozen. The headlines? Revenge of the Nerd. Ex-employees algo turns on creator. Cops came at noon. Badges flashing like bad code. Ana Reyes? You're under arrest for cyber sabotage. Handcuffs bit cold. But as they marched me past the lobby, reporters swarming like locusts, I saw Jake.
Pale.
Cornered by feds. His empire unraveling in real time. And Victor? He burst from the elevator. Wild-eyed. Shoving through the chaos.
Wait. She's
key personnel. His voice broke. The founder reduced to a beggar. Our eyes locked. In that beat, the twist uncoiled. He'd flipped on Jake hours ago. Cut a deal with the DA. Testify against his protege for leniency on the old fraud. Jake rots now. Orange jumpsuit symphony. But Victor? Walking free. Patent in my name by morning if I play ball. They begged me back that night. In a sterile conference room smelling of stale donuts and desperation. Victor. Hollow-cheeked. Anna. Reclaim it. Echo Predict needs you. We need you. The patent papers sat and signed. A white flag. I could walk, queen of my code. New startup. Fresh millions. Or sign. Bury the glitch deeper. Become the villain who saved the hero. Controversial as hell. Forgive the father who betrayed the daughter. Or burn it all for purity. I signed. Not for him, for me.
the twist.
In the fine print, a clause, full ownership transfer. Post-trial. Victor thinks he won, pulling strings like always. But the drive? Still mine. Logs intact. One leak, and his house of cards folds. Revenge isn't ending the game, it's rewriting the rules so you always win the rematch. As I walked out into the valley dawn, sirens fading, I felt the weight lift, not gone, just shifted. America, where betrayal's the startup cost, and payback's the IPO. The aftermath tasted like victory laced with battery acid. By week 3 post-signing, Innovatech was a phoenix with singed wings, stock rebounding on the genius returns narrative. My face plastered on CNBC as the whistleblower who saved Silicon Valley. Pundits debated it endlessly. Hero or hacker? I leaned into the glow. Keynotes at TechCrunch disrupt. TEDx invites stacking like pull requests. Ethical AI isn't a buzzword, I'd say. Channeling my inner Sheryl Sandberg with a Chicana edge. It's the firewall between innovation and annihilation. Audiences ate it up. The applause a balm on old wounds. But nights? Alone in my upgraded loft overlooking the bay, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the fog-shrouded bridges, I'd stare at the drive. Its LED winking like a guilty conscience. Victor played the long game. Paternal charm dialed to 11. Lunches at the French Laundry. His treat, foie gras and flattery. You were always the heart of this. Anna. Jake? A necessary evil. Necessary evil. The man who'd greenlit my firing, then testified like a rat in a trap. Jake's trial was a circus, federal courtroom in San Francisco, packed with valley vultures circling for scraps. I watched from the back row, incognito in oversized shades and a hoodie that screamed guilty. He took the stand, shackled subtly, that jawline softened by jailhouse pallor. Ana Reyes was obsessed, he spat, eyes finding mine across the room. She planted the code, framed me for her revenge, obsessed. The word hung, controversial shrapnel embedding in the jury's doubt. The prosecutor shredded him. Emails, timestamps. The patent fraud laid bare. Victor's fraud too, slush funds exposed in cross-exam. But plea bargained to a slap, community service, a fine that barely dented his yacht fund. Jake, 15 years. White-collar purgatory in Lompoc. As the gavel fell, he twisted in his seat, mouthing bitch with lips like overripe fruit. I didn't flinch. Betrayal's echo. That's all. But the flips? Victor's specialty. Post-trial, he retired to advisor status, stepping aside for me as CTO. The prodigal daughter crowned. Board loved it, diversity optics. Redemption arc. Ana Reyes, from fired to fired up, Forbes gushed. I moved into Jake's old office. The Eames real this time. And dove back into EchoPredict. Upgrades, bias audits, open source ethics modules. It hummed, predicting not just markets but manipulations flagging corporate grifts before they metastasized. Clients flooded back. Bigger fish, BlackRock. Sovereign wealth from Dubai. Millions wired. My equity vesting like clockwork. The secret, though, it burrowed deeper. A root wrought in the foundation. I'd borne Victor's crime once.
But now?
Whispers from ex-colleagues. The ones who'd drunk the Kool-Aid. He pulled the same on the last golden child. Buried her IP. 2. Her, Lena Voss. Innovateka's ghost. Vanished 5 years back after a mutual parting. I'd Googled her once. Pre-chaos, LinkedIn tombstone. Last post a cryptic, truth is the ultimate debug. Controversy brewed in Reddit threads, r/Silicon Valley secrets. Users piecing Lena's puzzle. Had Victor orchestrated her exit? Like mine? Planted the seed of doubt. And my paranoia bloomed. Month 4. The decision point. Over bourbon in Victor's penthouse, views of the Golden Gate like a postcard from purgatory, he pitched expansion. Echo Predict 2.0. Anna. Military contracts. Pentagon's drooling, predict insurgencies. Not just stocks. My stomach twisted. The Oracle. Weaponized? Point the loaded gun at brown bodies in deserts. While we sip Napa Reds. Ethics first, I countered. Voice steady. He laughed. That gravelly rumble. Ethics pay the bills? Or do we innovate?
Flip.
The mentor who'd preached humanity, now hawking drones disguised as data. I stalled, but the pressure mounted. Board meetings turned interrogations. Anna, the founder's vision built this. Don't kneecap it with your ideals. Ideals. Code for uppity Latina thinks she runs the show. Valley's underbelly. Glass ceilings etched with microaggressions. I leaked internally anonymized memo to the ethics committee. Potential misuse risks. It backfired. Victor cornered me post-meeting. Door locked. His beard twitching. Bury it again.
Kid.
For the company. Echoes of the server room. My hand itched for the drive. That night, the tension snapped. I cracked Lena's file, hacked legally, via my lawyer's subpoena on the fraud case. Buried deep, her patent, a precursor to Echo Predict, assigned to Innovatech under duress. Victor's signature, dated the day after her parting. She'd born a glitch too, early AI hallucination exposing his first slush. A kickback from a VC scam.
Covered it.
Like me. Then vanished. Rumors of a breakdown. Off-grid in Big Sur. Controversy incarnate. Was she a cautionary tale? Or a canary I'd ignored? Revenge Round 2 ignited in a haze of insomnia. I forked the code again, not public this time. Targeted. Embedded a canary token in the military pitch demo, a subtle flag, pinging to my server if deployed unethically. Then the drop. Lena's story to ProPublica. Corroborated docs. Tech Titan's pattern of peril. Women erased. Secrets buried. It exploded Me Too mechanics. Protests at HQ with Lena's face on placards. Victor flipped hard. Emergency presser. Deeply troubled. Launching internal review. But the SEC? They circled. Old fraud, fresh meat. The climax crashed like a kernel panic. Demo day. Pentagon brass in the boardroom. Star-spangled ties and briefcases fat with NDAs. Victor beamed. Cueing the sim. Echo Predict forecasting. Hypothetical. Ops in simulated Middle East hellscapes. My canary tripped, screen froze. Overlay text blooming. Ethics breach detected. Targeting civilian data projections 87%. Room erupted. Generals red-faced. Victor paling to ash. What the? He snarled, whipping to me. I stood, calm as a commit log. It's the Oracle.
Beak.
Truth serum. Chaos. Suits scrambling. Feeds live tweeting from embeds.
Outside.
Media swarm. Chants of bury no more. Jake's ghost haunted it. Texts from Lompoc contacts. Heard you're finishing what I started. Respect. Twisted olive branch. Victor lunged, grabbing my arm, first real violence. Bruise blooming like code rot. You bitch. After everything, the mentorship, the cover, the betrayal loop.
Cops again.
But this time, my lawyer on speed dial. Body cam footage from a concerned intern. Assault charge filed. Victor's empire quaking. By midnight, he was begging, voicemail slurry with Glenfiddich. Anna. Stop. Reclaim the whole damn thing. CEO title. Board seat.
Just.
Pull the plug. The patent? Already mine. Amended quiet. But the company? A husk. Clients fleeing like rats from a DDoS. The twist got punched as dawn broke. Lena surfaced, email from a throwaway. Saw the headlines. You did what I couldn't.
But Vic? He's not the villain.
I was. Attached. Her confession. The glitch she'd covered?
Hers.
Embezzlement to fund a lover's habit. Victor taking the fall to protect her, then burying her when she cracked. Flip upon flip, I'd avenged a ghost who'd haunted the wrong house. Victor, the schemer, was the shield, Jake. The opportunist. The knife.
Me?
The fool who'd borne shadows for strangers. No sides clean. I could torch it all, leak Lena's truth. Watch Victor burn for real. Or rebuild. Ethical empire. My rules. Controversy's currency. Readers. You'd argue till servers melt. Hero? Traitor? In America, winners write the narrative. I chose the throne. Keys in hand. Drive formatted clean. But ghosts? They compile eternal. Rebuilding from ashes isn't linear code. It's spaghetti. Tangled with if-thens that loop back on themselves. 6 months in as CEO. Innovatech rebranded. Reyes Dynamics. Echo predict the crown jewel. Now with TruthGuard protocols hard-coded against misuse. No military deals. Instead, pro bono audits for nonprofits. Flagging corruption in real time. Union busts in Detroit. Election meddling in swing states. The Valley whispered. Anna's gone woke.
Woke. Nah. Awake.
Board grumbled. But stock soared 40% on the conscious capitalism wave, Oprah endorsed. Even. Victor? Golden parachute deployed. Consulting gig in Austin. Beard trimmed. Podcasting lessons from the edge, like a fallen Caesar spinning memoirs. Lena's email haunted my inbox. Archived but undeleted. We'd met once. Post-scandal. In a talk area off the 101, her gaunt. Eyes like debugged voids. Tattoos peeking from sleeves. Binary for regret. I flipped the script on him, she said. Salsa dripping from chips. Told Vic it was his fraud to draw heat off me. He buried it for love. Twisted as it was. Love. The ultimate controversy. Victor's ex wasn't just a gold digger. She'd been Lena's half-sister. The embezzlement a desperate bailout gone wrong. Family ties. Silicon style. Messier than venture debt. Jake wrote from prison. Contraband stationery smudged. You won. Reyes. But check the mirrors. We're all schemers. I burned it, but the ink stained. My decisions? Controversial landmines. I greenlit layoffs, 20% headcount. Streamlining for sustainability. Echoing Jake's playbook. Protests erupted. Ex-devs picketing with pitchforks of code printouts. Reyes' revenge ironic twist. She torched us for payback, one sign read. Fair? No one cheered the axe when it swung their way. The buried secret resurfaced in quarterly reviews. Echo predict flagged anomalies in our own books, phantom expenses. Routed to Austin. Victor's consulting fees, inflated like a bubble economy. Coincidence? Or the old dog scheming a comeback? Siphoning for a stealth startup? I confronted him over FaceTime. His face pixelated in hill country haze. Anna. Paranoia again? It's legit. His eyes darted. Tell. Flip detected. I buried it. Like he taught. Rewrote the logs. blamed a vendor glitch. Born again. The crime mine now.
Why?
Not loyalty. Leverage. The drive? Repopulate. Fresh canaries primed. Tension coiled like a spring in a server rack. High-stakes demo for a UN climate fund. Echo predict modeling carbon fraud. Live streamed to Davos elites. Victor crashed it virtually. Uninvited. Proud of you. Kid. Smarm dripped. Then the flag. Anomaly. Internal diversion. $2.3 million to external entity. Screen froze. World watching. Gasps echoed in the Zurich ballroom feed. My heart hammered his play. Exposed mid-bow. Backlash tsunami. SEC probe 2.0. Shares tanking. Reporters at my door like Jehovah's Witnesses with mics. Victor's podcast went dark. Then live. Mea culpa special. I strayed. Post-retirement blues. Anna's the future. Forgive the founder. Flip. Villain to victim. Begging redemption. Public split. Forgive Vic camps versus burn the patriarch. Twitter wars raging like proxy battles.
Me?
Grilled by CNBC's Carl Quintanilla. Sweat beading under studio lights. Is this karma? Anna? Or just valley viciousness?
Karma.
The word mocked. That night, alone with the bay's roar, I weighed the endgame. Leak the diversions. Watch him federal pound me. Or cut a deal, repay. Retire quiet.
Patent stays mine.
Controversy's core. Mercy for the monster who'd made me? Or justice? Cold as a null pointer? Dawn brought the call, Lena. Voice cracked, he's sick.
Cancer. Slipped it to me last week.
The fees? Chemo? Not schemes. Twist's knife, the schemer. Human after all. Embezzlement echo, desperation's old song. I drove to Austin. 101 to I-10 blur. Confronting him in a sterile ranch house smelling of chemo and regret. Why? I demanded, drive in hand like a gun. He coughed. Frail. Same as you.
Kid.
Bury the bad. Build the good. Jake? I flipped on him to save us both. You. No sides. Him. The mentor who'd borne Lena's sin. Then mine. Now, his own mortality.
Me?
The avenger who'd flipped from victim to villain. Decisions gray as fog. I formatted the drive, clean slate. Retire for real, I said. Or I hit send. He nodded. Tears carving canyons and wrinkles. Back in Palo Alto. I open-sourced the core. Echo predict for all. Ethics enforced. Company? Sold to a co-op. Worker-owned. No throne. Ending? Not happy. Not tragic, American ambiguous. Victor faded quiet. Podcast eulogies mixed venom and velvet. Lena resurfaced. CTO under me in the new era. Jake? Paroled early for good behavior. Ghostwriting memoirs from a halfway house.
Me?
Writing this. Fingers on keys. Oracle whispering. Predict the next betrayal. Revenge? It's the patch that never fully debugs. You decide. Right or ruin. In the valley, we break things to see if they sparkle.